Powerhouse, presented by Alliant Energy.
Alliant Energy, we're on for you.
We've talked a lot about CFLs, or compact fluorescent lighting, on Powerhouse, but there's a relatively new lighting technology that's starting to make its way into homes and offices. Joining us is Kurt Clausen with the Iowa Energy Center to talk about LED lighting. And Kurt, what exactly is LED lighting?
Well, LED lighting is light emitting diode. That's what the LED stands for. It's a new type of lighting that's based on solid state lighting or electronic lighting. It's quite a bit different than what we're used to with typical incandescent fluorescent lighting.
And Kurt, where do we use it around the house typically?
Well, around the home it could be used for task lighting or under cabinet lighting, and a good application possibly is to replace those recessed can lights. LED lighting in that application can be 4 times as efficient as incandescent lighting.
Now, you mentioned it's different from the typical that we know, the fluorescent and the incandescent, right? Mm-hmm. What are the real differences there?
Well, some of the big differences are the life. An LED light fixture can last 80,000 hours. Many of them are rated up to that level. Another advantage of LEDs is they are instant on. When they turn on, they're on instantly. They like the cold weather. Sometimes the fluorescent lights don't like to start up in the cold weather. So that's another advantage. They're very robust, very durable, quite easy to apply.
Now, I know you've got some examples for us to take a look at here, Kurt. Explain to us a little bit what we're looking at, especially these are new for the consumers. What do we look for when we're shopping?
Well, when you're looking at a replacement for a can light, you might be looking at something like this. This is a good quality LED, and it's got a screw base fixture that you can replace your can light with, and it's got a very good color temperature. It's got good heat sink on it. That's a good quality LED. For about 11 watts, this LED will put out as much light as a 65-watt recessed can.
Now, again, you talk about these fins. Is that a signature of an LED?
That's a signature of a good quality LED. The LED produces light in a different way than the incandescents and the fluorescents. An incandescent light, about 70% of the energy from an incandescent light will actually go to infrared heat. With an LED, the energy is either light or it's heat. So it needs the heat sink to dissipate that heat, much like the processor in your computer.
Sure. Okay, so there is a little bit of heat that is generated. That's a misconception I think that I had, that LEDs don't put out any heat.
Yeah. They do. They do put out some heat, and how efficient they are is by how effectively they can dissipate that heat. That's why we want to see the heat fins on them.
Okay, a couple other examples here, Kurt. Under track lighting, or?
Yeah, here's an under cabinet light, and this type of light would fit underneath your cabinet or your countertop at work, and it just fastens up there, and of course the whole metal plate here is dissipating the heat. This little guy here is about 6 watts of LED. This one here is a task light, and this task light is adjustable to focus it right on your work area, and again, that's about 6 watts of power.
Okay, saving energy, and also it doesn't cost a lot to use those, right?
No, they don't.
Now, take us through here a little bit in terms of differences. What we're looking at here, you got a display, Kurt.
What we're looking at here is some of the different LEDs that are just starting to come to the market. We actually purchased these at one of the big box retailers to set up demonstrations for people. We're starting at this end. This is an incandescent. This is a typical compact fluorescent. This is an LED that's kind of a cluster light, more of a floodlight, and then we have some more that are focused here. And these two are spot and floodlights, and this is a replacement for your typical light bulb.
Now, the applications would really be, I mean, it really depends in terms of what do you want to use it. What's your task?
Exactly. When you look at it, the LEDs have the ability to focus that light very tightly, somewhat like a flashlight. So if we go down and look at one of these spotlights or an accent light, they're pushing all the light into one area as opposed to a floodlight, which tends to spread it out. That's one of the advantages of the LEDs. An LED like this consists of 3 individual LED modules, and you can direct each one to put the light just exactly where you want it.
How about cost, Kurt?
There's quite a range in costs. The simple accent type LED runs from about $10. We get into these, we're talking about $30 or $40, and this one might be up at $80 to get the highest efficiency type that's available.
In terms of my investment, if I'm going out, okay, I learn about LEDs on Powerhouse and I want to go out and buy something, where should the typical homeowner start?
I'd suggest they start with a good quality LED. If you start with one that's less quality and doesn't have the heat sink and the ability to get the right colors, you're probably going to be quite disappointed in its performance. So I would go into the range when you're dealing with a $40 or $50 ones that are actually the complete replacement fixtures is really the best way to take advantage of all the LEDs.
Now I know you've also got some holiday lights down here, and LEDs are into the holiday light displays.
Yes, indeed. Holiday lights are a very good application for LEDs because LEDs like the cold. We can turn these on here, and you can see some of the difference between the two. And we can actually take a look at the wattage here of the different types of lights. Here's the LEDs, and they're hooked up to this watt meter, and they're not drawing enough power to actually register. They're actually taking about only 3.5 watts, whereas this string of the same number of incandescent lights, looking at the meter here, is taking 136 watts. So that's quite a bit of savings when you add up all that holiday lighting that some people like to put out.
And that's a great application because they'll last for a long time.
They'll last for a long time.
Kurt, are there any other specialty applications for LED lighting?
Yes, there's a couple specialty applications. One of them that's really coming to market, in the truest sense of the word, is LED lighting for refrigerated cases. Since LED light doesn't put out any infrared heat with a light, it works very well in a refrigerated case. You're going to see that coming to the big box retailers again that are selling the groceries, and the increased use of refrigerated cases really look at that. The other application is outdoor lighting. We're seeing more and more of that. This is an example here of a parking lot light. We're going to turn that on. That's going to be pretty bright, but you can see that that thing can put out a lot of light. It uses about half the energy of a conventional parking lot light, but gives us a lot better color.
So this would be hanging upside down to bring that light down to the parking lot?
Correct. It can be 20 or 30 feet in the air, and you can individually aim each one of the LEDs in here to spread that light out and put it right where you want it.
And focus it, but also, again, energy savings, cost savings by using that in the parking lot.
And the big cost savings there is the maintenance cost, because it takes quite a bit, a bucket truck usually, to change out a parking lot light.
As we look at these again, the investment, the savings, I mean, LED really, as we go to the future, a way to go.
It certainly is. And right now, the efficiency of the LED lighting is improving at about 30% per year, and the costs are coming down at about 20% per year. So there's going to be a pretty good break-even point in about 3 years or so where the costs are going to be down there, the consumer can really take them on, and the efficiency is going to be up there that they're going to compete with the most efficient lights that are available on the market today.
Well, Kurt, a lot of great information. LED lighting, and sharing that with us in terms of another option on energy-efficient lighting. Kurt, thanks for being with us.